Davidson 4-2 on the season. Coach Gail Folks believes they are an NCAA tournament team. That is the goal, and a win here today against Baylor would go a long way when the Davidson Wildcats get to Selection Sunday.
Davidson has played Power 5 teams. They beat Power 4 teams. The key for them tonight is to take care of the basketball.
First ever meeting between Baylor and Davidson. Tierra Cruz, Julie Croman-Hook, and Rod Creech are the officials, and Baylor wins the tip. And immediately they go inside.
Well, as I said, for Davidson, it's a motion offense. They're going to spread the floor, dribble ats, where they're just trying to create some confusion and get an advantage on the offensive end. Charlize
Dunn, the lone senior starter for Davidson. 3 players in the starting lineup from Australia. There's quite the pipeline that has been developed between Australia and this Davidson program. Dariana Little Page Buggs takes her time, rises up over Katie Donovan.
Little Page Buggs didn't make a field goal against Iowa.
Emily Bessel, unguarded, steps around Jana Van Geitenbeek, but couldn't finish.
And Davidson's player to player, and they will switch screens. Key was for Baylor to exploit those switches. So far, we've seen Little Page Buggs be able to do that for all 4 of the Baylor points.
Scoreless here on Thursday night. She's got the first 2 buckets tonight. Garcia flips it up with a left hand. Offensive rebound done with a stick back. But she feels very good about their chances to win the conference.
If you've watched this team, you know why Coach Folks feels so good.
Folks just earned a contract extension through 2032. She'll be on the Davidson sideline for quite some time as Talia Scott gets into the scoring column and shows that she enjoys playing here in her home state.
Knows how to create space. She knows how to create her shot.
7th nationally in points per game so far this season. Donovan flips it up and gets a friendly roll. There's Nikki Collin, 5th year as the Baylor head coach. The head coach of the WNBA's Atlanta Dream. He's the league coach of the year in 2018.
All Nikki does is win. Doesn't matter the level. And if you're able to watch her practice, you understand why. Just an elite basketball mind in our game.
Van Geitenbeek reeling her way inside. She steps on the sideline. Donovan patiently working her way around Little Page Buggs.
And that's how Katie Donovan's getting to the free throw line.
Davidson was not good at the line here on Thursday. Gail Folks told us part of the reason they lost, too many missed free throws and too many missed layups. And Donovan splits a pair.
That's the bottom line in our game. Make your free throws, make your layups, and you're going to have a really good night on the offensive end.
Scott, no field goal attempts so far. She's a passer there, finding Little Page Buggs.
And you see Johnson just sitting in the paint off of Garcia.
Garcia along with the 3. Little Page Buggs flying in for the rebound. Davidson just 2 of 11 from the floor here to get things going. Post touch for Johnson, and she's fouled. 3 seasons at Oklahoma before transferring to Baylor. Strauss works her way inside, up and around Abraham. 2 points for Baylor's leading scorer, Talia Scott, so far. She doesn't have an official shot attempt. 2 for 2 at the line. Strauss defending Markayla Johnson there. Top 50 player in last year's recruiting class.
Quick, athletic, really difficult to get around. I wouldn't be surprised if she got her hands on a couple of these entry passes here this evening.
Offensive rebound off the 2 missed free throws. A lot of traffic around Abraham. Good job getting it back to Little Page Buggs. Fakes the handoff. Little Page Buggs all the way in. She continues a red-hot start.
It's night and day difference of how aggressive she is on the offensive end this evening compared to Thursday. Little Paige Buggs, in my opinion, one of the most well-rounded player in our game. Baylor needs her to stay aggressive offensively.
Candace Leonafa sticks the three from the top. Davidson back within one. Little Paige Buggs scoreless here on Thursday. She wasn't scoreless in any game in the last 2 years. What a split there by Talia Scott.
And Austin, something to watch. Bella Fauntleroy already going to the bench. 3 minutes to go in this quarter with 2 fouls. Great slip by Donovan. Another shot missed at the rim.
Fauntleroy, the top defender on this Baylor team. She was going to be tasked with guarding Charlize Dunn, Davidson's leading scorer.
Well, the term glue's used a lot by coaches.
Donovan fouled hard by Yuting Deng, who got up in the air with that shot fake and hit the floor hard. Donovan has played in every game since she stepped on the floor at Davidson. Preseason second team All-Atlantic 10. Well, Dale Folks told us today that if you can't score against someone your size or smaller in the post, it's very likely they are not going to recruit you.
I thought that was that was very enlightening for me to hear today. And it's so true.
You see the emphasis that Davidson puts on that, both in shoot-around and every time. There's Donovan backing her player down. Threw it into the backcourt. Tracked down by Kiersten Johnson, and she's fouled. Baylor as a team has been pretty good this year, 76%.
This is something to watch. Davidson's a team that averages 17 fouls a game. Basically, almost a fifth of opponents' points are coming from the free throw line. Against a Baylor team like this, they do not want to keep putting them on the free throw line.
Baylor 3 of 8 as a team so far. Donovan, once again, the focal point offensively. And she is delivering 7 first-quarter points as Davidson jumps in front. Van Geitenbeek with 5. Inside-out dribble. Little Paige Buggs has to let it go. And what has been a near-perfect first quarter, Little Paige Buggs coming off the first scoreless game in her career here Thursday night against Iowa. Had no points in 32 minutes. She has responded in a big way. 8 points, 2 rebounds in that first quarter as Yuting Deng hits the turnaround.
Great execution out of the timeout for Baylor.
Leonafa sweeping hook around Kiersten Johnson. It wouldn't fall. Little Paige Buggs again. Met at the rim by Leonafa. Johnson right there to follow it up. Shooting it at 58%. Davidson right now 5 of 19. Offensive rebound done. Got hit on the arm by Little Paige Buggs. That's the second foul on Little Paige Buggs, and you can see the wheels turning for Nikki Collin. Little Paige Buggs has 2, so does Bella Fauntleroy. So 2 front court players for Baylor with 2 fouls.
And now, can Baylor really pound the ball inside with their 2 bigs on the floor?
This is something we talked about with associate head coach Tony Green at the shoot-around today. He said they might be able to have success with a 2-big lineup, and it's a great start.
Johnson is the one right now that's affecting so much. She's made really good decisions on the defensive end.
Charlize Dunn. Well, to this point, Davidson's done an excellent job on Talia Scott as she glides in right on cue.
Icing means you don't want to allow the ball to come to the middle third of the floor. You want to keep it on the outside because that way you don't have to have rotations behind you. Or in theory, you shouldn't.
Gorgeous step through by Dunn. She's got 8.
Same play.
And Scott draws contact. 2 free throws for Scott. At Arkansas as a freshman, then last year at Auburn. Averaged 20 per game last year, but only played in 3 games. She had a hand-wrist injury that limited her throughout the season. Leonafa draws contact.
And it's that long step where she can just get by so many defenders. No one ever said anything about being fluid when I played way back in the day.
Scott has an open look. Pops in and out. Offensive rebound, Johnson. She's walled up by Strauss. Gail told us she used to go over every year. They've now established such a strong presence there, and they've got great relationships with a lot of basketball people, and their reputation is outstanding in Australia.
Absolutely, and players talk. Parents of players talk, and every player that's come over has had a great experience, and it's opened up the door for more and more talented players to come over to Davidson. Now with unlimited unofficial visit or official visits for the American student athletes, their process can really drag out. She said, I like that these young ladies come over, they make a couple visits in a week, and they give you an answer.
Yeah, Coach Folks told us we try to recruit American players first, but the process just hasn't been one that's been fruitful. Timerson trailing Scott. Off-target pass looking for Abraham. Not much rhythm offensively right now for Baylor. Dunn banks in the three, her second from deep, and she's got 11.
Well, I believe there's not a lot of flow for the offense because there's no Bella Fauntleroy. There's no Little Paige Bugs on the floor. They do so much for this Baylor ball club.
Each of them sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. There's Talia Scott. Back cut by Donovan. Up and under fake. She got Abraham with the foul and was able to finish.
And what I love is she led her a little bit towards the middle to this outside so she could use the reverse layup.
Unable to convert the three-point play, but Baylor.
This is for Dunn to get the inbound pass.
Trying to get Strauss on the block. She was held.
Nikki Collin about the pace today. She said, we want to get up and down. Well, I think because of the turnovers and because of all the fouls, it's been very choppy, especially if they continue to struggle to take advantage of the switches on the offensive end.
Even though Davidson is shooting a low percentage, they've gotten good looks and they haven't turned it over. Good recipe to be able to dictate pace.
Well, Davidson only averages 13 turnovers a game. They take care of, and that was one thing Nikki Collins said. A key was, can we execute on offense? Because we know we're not going to be able to consistently turn them over. And they rebound well, so she didn't think they'd get a lot of second chance opportunities.
Great find by Dunn as Baylor got an easy layup from Kayla Nelms. Strauss to the left hand, gets it over the front of the rim. Johnson left-hand drive. Nelms offensive rebound. How about the strength and poise by Kayla Nelms? Open look done. Rebounded by Scott. Baylor will have a chance to tie or take the lead with the shot clock off. And Scott is fouled by Dower.
Is a 40% from 3 on the season.
First miss at the line for Scott. She's 4 of 5, 11 first half points. Again, shot clock is off. Davidson would like to hold for the final shot of the half. Alvarez off a double screen. Up top, Garcia underneath. Donovan, left-hand finish to cap a tremendous first half for Katie Donovan. Well, Baylor's got to keep those 2 on the floor. There's Donovan. She leads all scorers with 13 as we get things going here in the final 20 minutes. Donovan taking it right at Little Paige Bugs. Stepping through. Great touch. Spin off the window from Donovan.
I mean, that was great defense by Little Paige Bugs.
A reach-in foul committed by Brundunks is her 3rd. So she picks up a 3rd foul 20 seconds into this 3rd quarter, and she heads to the bench. Angie Ziaka comes back in. Van Guytenbeek drills a three from the wing.
And I think that's important because that can help space the offense even more for the bigs of Baylor.
Garcia down the lane, couldn't finish. Donovan set her up, and now Baylor on the run.
Nice dump.
Little Page Bugs, bounce past Johnson. Easy deuce, and we're tied at 36. Dunn in the post against Fauntleroy. Easy for Charlize Dunn. Van Guytenbeek looking inside. Fauntleroy was open for a moment. Scott, clean look at a three, and she buries it. Davidson more than 3 minutes without a point. Timerson puts it on the deck. Fauntleroy got a piece of it.
Stays in the gap position, knocks it off the ball handler.
Davidson now with 4 turnovers in the quarter. Only had 5 the entire first half. Dunn spinning back to the right hand off the glass.
I think it's also knowing when she has a good shot that can set her teammates up for a great shot. And for her teammates, it's learning not to watch necessarily when she does have the ball in her hands.
Run dunks a little beyond the line there, unable to find the range from 3. Baylor with just 30% of its scoring back from a year ago. Run dunks called for the foul. It's her 4th. So she heads to the bench. And 2 free throws for Nelms. Davidson, a long scoring drought here against Miami on Thursday. Ziaka's 3 no good, and a loose ball foul against Davidson.
As long as I followed her programs, they're a team that come mid-January really take off. She's got the science of when her team needs to play its best ball really down pat. We definitely have a lot more to work on. And so, as usual, I expect this Baylor team to keep getting better.
Duke, when you referenced, was in Paris. They came home for a game, then went out west to play UNLV. They're here in Orlando. There has been a lot of travel and not much practice time for Baylor.
It's what players love and coaches hate this time of year because every practice has been for game prep.
Free throws for Garcia. Chance for Davidson to end its long scoring drought at the free throw line.
She came in tonight averaging just under 8 minutes a game. She's already at 10. And Nikki Conn likes what she's seeing from her because she's leaving her on the floor.
Nelms, Florida native, 6'1" sophomore from Miami. Played for a terrific high school program, Miami Country Day. Won a bunch of state titles. So a good pedigree for Nelms. Dunn has it in the corner. She'll try a 3. How about that shot from Yuting Deng? Had Charlize Dunn right in her face. Dunn, ball fake. Can't finish, but the foul on Fauntleroy. That'll be her 3rd. And now right at her season average of 15. Van Guytenbeek got room for a 3. Off the back rim, scramble for the loose ball. Little Page Bugs had it. Donovan comes away with it as time expires on the 3rd quarter. Baylor's defense risen to meet the moment down the stretch so far this season. Little Page Bugs trying to enter it to Nelms. And Baylor turns it over. That's their 17th turnover.
Now, can Davidson take advantage?
Dower turns the corner. Left-hand layup bounces out. Rebound by Strauss. She'll take it back up with a left hand.
On-ball screen action. It's where Talia Scott has gotten almost 50% of her possessions on this season.
Little Page Bugs, not the strength of her game, shooting the 3, and Strauss pulls it down for Davidson. Dunn, past Johnson, created space and got the bounce.
Charlize Dunn read that Talia Scott was hugging Dower down in the corner, so she had that alley to take it to the rim.
17 for Dunn. She leads all scorers. Johnson, nice spin move off the side of the rim. Nelms pulls it down. Her shot a little bit short. Strauss in the post against Little Page Bugs. Nice step through and score, and Davidson regains the lead. Adina Strauss, a couple of buckets here early in the fourth. Watched closely by Dower. She's gotten a lot of run here after not playing the other night against Miami. Dower doing the job defensively on Scott. That ball off the leg. They'll say it stays with Baylor. It looked like maybe off the leg of Donovan after it hit Scott's knee. Little Page Bugs rising up in the middle of the lane. Baylor back in front by a point. Dunn in the post against Fauntleroy. Tough finish, Charlize Dunn.
I think Bella Fauntleroy was one of the best defenders in the country. That's how difficult a shot that was.
Van Guytenbeek turns down the screen, around Strauss. Good finish by Jana Van Guytenbeek.
Very heads-up play by the point guard for Baylor.
Quick hands from Van Guytenbeek. Scott behind the back. She was fouled by Alvarez. Bessel started, normally one of their most consistent players, but she's played only 7 minutes tonight. Scott bumped by Strauss, and that is 3 team fouls, but on the bench right now with 4 fouls. Fauntleroy spinning, tough, physical in the post. Dower to the corner. Inez Garcia off on the 3. Fauntleroy the rebound. Davidson 3 of 19 from 3. Little Page Bugs on the block. Johnson. A late whistle from across the floor. Johnson with 10 rebounds. Some block shots as well.
A really important free throw opportunity after making that first one.
She hits both. 3 of 4 at the line for Kiersten Johnson. Had not shot a free throw yet this season. Coming into the game tonight. Donovan in the high post area. Little Page Bugs really active. Great pass and the finish by Garcia.
I don't know how Donovan even got that pass through. I mean, since early part of this game, it's one of the few times we've seen the starting lineup for Baylor on the court back here together.
Scott, Donovan, close. Scott with the step back. And nearly went in off the top part of the backboard. Bessel didn't like what she saw inside. Garcia puts it on the deck. Johnson defending. Garcia with a left hand. Back-to-back buckets for Inez Garcia. 4 minutes to go. It's a 1-point game. Bessel bumps Scott.
So, just for viewers out there that might not understand, you're not allowed to fake a foul, which is what the flop warning was. Davidson is called for that again. It will be a team technical.
Brundunk's out there with 4 fouls. Bessel cut off and an offensive foul. Garcia with an illegal screen.
These are definitely 2 NCAA tournament teams come March. And they're fighting like it here in the fourth quarter.
Fauntleroy with the entry pass. Nice catch by Kiersten Johnson. And she finished with a left hand.
Great execution out of the timeout by Baylor.
59-54. Bessel. And they'll give the foul to Scott. first point. She's really emerged for this Davidson team. Started every game this season after not starting a single game a year ago. Waited behind Izzy Morgan. Scott over the top, Johnson. Dunn able to secure it. Dunn past Fauntleroy. Bessel into the lane. Got it to go off the window. Johnson was there defensively. Bessel had the step, and it's a one-point game once again. Van Geitenbeek on the baseline. What a find! Little Paige Boggs lays it in. Garcia puts it on the deck. Spinning back to that left hand. Johnson with another rejection.
The 8th block of the game from Baylor. None bigger than Johnson's rim protection.
Under 40 seconds to go. Scott running the shot clock down.
Davidson choosing not to foul, so they've got to get a stop here.
Shot clock at 3. Scott driving. Awkward shot, no. And it's a shot clock violation.
I'd say go quick. 2 for 1 here.
Garcia in the corner. Dunn, watched closely by Johnson. Little hesitation, and she's able to get it off the glass. 1-point game. Fauntleroy to throw it in for Baylor. Into Johnson. She gets rid of it to Fauntleroy, who is fouled.
Not on the first free throw, but on the second, you've got to box out. You have to assume a miss because you cannot afford Baylor to get a second chance opportunity.
Around and down for Fauntleroy on the first. Davidson with 1 timeout remaining, so they'll have an opportunity to advance it here with 14 seconds to go. Two massive free throws from Bella Fauntleroy. Brundunks will throw it in for Davidson. Bessel grabbed and fouled right away by Talia Scott. And the next foul by Baylor would put Davidson at the free throw line.
And there is that adage by some coaches, don't give up a 3, make them make 2 free throws.
Bessel all the way through the lanes, flips it up off the back rim. Garcia the rebound, she kicks, Dunn for the tie! We're even at 63! Charlize Dunn delivers for Davidson.
Just like Coach Folks drew up. Get the offensive rebound, kick out to Charlize Dunn. She knew it was pure as soon as she released. You see the little head nod on the release, and the Davidson players are celebrating. So Davidson cannot foul here.
They added 0.2 of a second during that timeout, so 4.2 with Dunn to throw it in. Trying to get it to Kiersten Johnson, out of bounds to Davidson with 3.3 remaining. Donovan will throw it in. Baylor with some token pressure. It's Dunn. She heaves it off the top of the backboard. Without Little Paige Buggs available, Yuting Deng starts the overtime for Baylor. Strauss and Kiersten Johnson. Back to Van Geitenbeek, and Baylor will have it first. Fauntleroy right into Strauss. Offensive foul. Bessel off the handoff. Up and over Dunn. Terrific defense, as has been the case all night. .90 seconds into the overtime, no scoring yet. Scott turns down a screen. Contact and one. Strauss fouls out. Talia Scott, a chance for three. Said she's been big in fourth quarters this season. How about overtime? She's got the first three. Bessel can't get it to Dunn. Fauntleroy, tremendous denial. Finally, she's got it with a shot clock under 10. Dunn. Foul.
Yeah, I just didn't see it.
Back to a one-point game. Under 2 to go in the overtime. Baylor by a point with possession. And this has been the offense, that high screen and roll. Scott finds Dunn. Massive three! Yuting Deng with her second three-pointer of the game. 2-possession lead for Baylor. Dunn underneath. Off the glass and good. 69-67. And a foul committed by Garcia will put Kiersten Johnson at the line.
So for Baylor, off the high on ball screen, Talia Scott just weaving through traffic. Donovan comes off of Dunn in the corner. That's how she was open. She spotted up to Yuting Deng. I think all her minutes have been big for Baylor here. Davidson needs to make sure they're getting a box out here.
Again, Miami and Iowa up next.
If I'm Davidson, I'm trying to go a little bit quick here. Give yourself a little insurance in case you don't get the score.
Bessel passed up an open three. Dunn run into by Fauntleroy, and she has just fouled out of the game. Fauntleroy, 4 points, 4 rebounds, but contributed in a number of ways that don't show up in the stat sheet. Dunn's been great at the line, 6 of 7. Chance to make it a 1-point game. Markayla Johnson came in to replace Fauntleroy. So a smaller lineup out there right now for Baylor.
Well, I think right now for Baylor it's about ball security.
It's been Talia Scott at this end of the floor, but right now Van Guitenbeek handling off a screen. Johnson buried Bessel inside. They couldn't get it to her. Scott crossover, free throw line jumper. Bounces off. Garcia the rebound. Davidson looking for a bucket that would give them the lead. And an offensive foul against Bessel.
I like Leonofa up on the ball, a little bit more length.
They get it into Scott, and she is fouled by Dunn. Davidson with 1 timeout, so they are able to advance if that's what Gail Folks wants to do. 1 more for Scott. She's 9 of 10 at the line today. 2 perfect free throws. And Davidson will take the timeout here with 18 seconds to go. She hit a game-tying 3 with 4 seconds to go. They get it into Alvarez. Dunn again, fouled behind the three-point line. Baylor's top 3 scorers have all fouled out.
She gets her on the shoulder. I'm not sure how much it affected the shot, but she gets her on the shoulder. And if she had just kept the hand up, it was just that she didn't even need to bring it down.
So now 3 free throws for Charlize Dunn. Eight of 9 at the line. She's got 31. Tied again. 3 perfect free throws from Charlize Dunn. 3 leading scorers for Baylor have all fouled out. With 12.3 to go, it's a tie game. Bears with possession. The inbounds pass comes to Dunn. 1-on-1 with Dower, and she will dribble it out. Dunn attacking off the glass and good. 3.6 to go. Dunn across midcourt for the win, and Baylor survives. Yuting Deng with the game-winning bucket to help the Bears get an overtime win.
As soon as the ball was inbounded, it was obvious it was just going to be one-on-one for Yuting Deng, and she knew what to do. Little hesitation, gets even with the defender, and then just hangs